And hello to all my Aries friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for Sunflowery September 2022. Now today they've dialed up for you guys a storyline spread. It's one of my favorite spreads for general readings because it is a huge scattershot across the entire sign of Aries. It allows me to be very accurate because we're telling a bunch of mini stories here. It's like a bunch of mini readings all in one. So we're going to look at a few different stories here for different Aries. And this is also wide open. They can talk about anything they want here. It could be a work thing, could be love thing, health thing. The floor is wide open. That's what I love about storyline spreads. Now they've asked that I conclude your reading with no extra spread at the end. When that happens, that's not a bad thing at all. It actually means that, they think you're pretty good. There's a few things they want to let you know in the storyline spread, but besides that, you guys are good to go. We're also going to do a Runestone, which I do for every sign. That's just going to bring the whole reading in together. And then I also need to tell you about what is going on here, what this display is right in front of me. So we have a lot to talk about, Aries. Let's get started right now. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. I'm going to bring you in right now so you can watch. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're ready to have a great September. And we're on and recording. What I'm doing now, guys, these are my ritual cuts. I like to do these live and on camera and share my table with you too. As I pull the cards, as we organize the cards, this satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot and is the same procedure for personal private readings. So it's just like you're here with me now. Now the storyline can get a little big. It can take up the table. Let's see what they give us first. I start it with 5 cards. Here we go with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to need more cards than this, so let me start making the most of the space here, as well as letting you see things very clearly. Still going to need more, and that's going to be my end actually. Still in view, perfect. So just like it was planned. This is the exact amount of cards that will fit in the wide screen. Now you can see that this guy here is facing inwards. You can see that this guy here is also facing inwards. That's letting me know that we have reached our peak here. This is the spread. This is the main group. Now I do need to get some pairings together here. So let me put that together real quick. This is going to be one story here. We're going to move down into story 2 here. And then that's just like that. So we're looking at 3 stories, guys. They kind of kept it short and sweet. Now this, I do need to tack on cards for more information. So this is where it starts getting, the table starts getting occupied really quick, as I'm sure you'll see. If I do start kind of taking up too much space here, I will move the camera around, make sure I show you guys everything that is that's here on the table that they want to share with you before I kind of pick it apart. This one first. Okay. Yeah, I need to move this here just to give myself space. Otherwise, I'm going to end up kind of contaminating this energetically, or at least confusing myself at the very least, and thinking that these stories are read together when really they're not. So there is going to be a story that's in here that's just right for you guys. So if the first 1 or 2 don't make sense, bear with it. We're going to get to yours. All right, so I need to go like this here. Yeah, it certainly takes up the table, and I got, the rest of my free space that I used to have here is now occupied by my Runestones and the display here. So very challenging here to get this all in view for you, but I do my best. Now let's check our inverts, see how many blockages we have. A lot up there. That definitely needs a discard in story 1, maybe off screen for you there. Down here, it's good distribution, and then down here, 4 out of 6, also going to do a discard. So let me do this discard first. That they want blocked for a reason. We're going to leave that one just like it is. Up here, do a discard. Also the same situation. So the stuff that is blocked, they want that way for a reason. Now just pulling my Angel Oracle cards. Every story gets one of those. And then we're ready to go, guys. It's just a matter of showing you on the camera everything that we're working with here. All right, so I'm going to move this around so you can see story 1 up here first. To the left of my hand, go and take back your power all the way left to the king. Let me see where that king is. Okay, I think he's in view. You saw him at the very beginning at the very least. That's story 1, guys. We're going to move down here to story 2, to the left of my hand here, ending with breathe, going to the left. All the way at the end of that is the 7 of swords there. So that's all one story there. And then our third story is going to kind of be my vertical one, all the way over here. And I think you can see that just like that. All right, so we're going to get started, guys. Lots to talk about. All right, Aries, let's see what your September has in store for you in the storyline format. And usually storylines do get complex, especially when there's no extra at the end. They want to focus your entire reading on this, guys. There's a reason for it. Let's figure out what that is. I did promise you story 1 up here first, so we're going to start here. I did miss a card, though. I need to pull one more card here. This one's not on view. You'll just have to trust me. It's a sun card. Good one to have. It is inverted, though. It's blocked, so it's coming in on a delay. It's coming. It's not quite here yet, guys. So there's something that we need to get out of there. It's very much purging energy. All right, let me start at the beginning, though. Getting too far ahead of myself. We start with the King first. King energy, King of Cups. This is taking great authority over your love corner. Your love corner has to do with family, has to do with friends, has to do with relationships, whether you're in one or not. You know, we're all in relationships with the different people in our lives. Not all of them are romantic. So this is your love corner. Anybody close to your heart can come in here. So they first bring up taking great authority with that corner. So you guys are deciding for yourself, hopefully, especially in the month of September. Do not let other people decide for you here what's best for you. This is really about you. They do show the Sun card next. That was the one I was missing. And that's coming in on a delay or block. So this has the potential to get really good here for a lot of my Aries here. Once you get the family straightened out here, it makes me feel like, you know, it's not that it has been in disarray. It's not like it necessarily needs a whole lot of effort and energy. I feel like you guys have done a pretty good job here. But at the same time, we need a continuance of it. September is basically calling for it. It's like, hey, put the energy into the family here in story 1. Put the energy into the family, your loved ones. They need it right now. This is the time. We need to get this the cloud away so that the sun can shine through. And then you guys are pristine. You guys are prime here. Next, they show the Devil card. So there is something that has a bondage here. The Devil card is about bondage, basically being handcuffed to something, maybe someone, a situation, a circumstance, sometimes a bad habit falls in there. It's basically tying you into something that you don't want to be tied down to necessarily. So it's about breaking free from that. And September may not be the month to do that, but they do say take back your power. So that very clearly, you can kind of read between the lines and figure out that a lot of you Aries have been giving your power away to other people. So it's time for you to take it back. Depending on what level that is, that could even be, like I said, habitual. Maybe, you know, you've been succumbing to this old bad habit of yours. Let's say, you know, cigarettes, for example. I'm always a fan of picking on cigarettes. It always happens when I give my examples because it makes sense. Most people understand it. Even if you don't agree with it, you understand it. So they talk about take back your power here. That would obviously be something that has a hold on you, and maybe a lot of you are trying to change, okay? Maybe you've been unsuccessful with your ability to change this, whatever it is that you're trying to purge out of your life. But it doesn't mean that you should stop. You should never just give in altogether and be like, you know what, I'm just stuck with this forever. And even if it's a person, don't also feel like, oh, I'm stuck with this person forever. No, you're not. You're really not. This is the Devil card. This is the opportunity to break free from that at some point. Now, they don't show that happening in September, but it doesn't mean that you should just surrender. You know, don't raise the white flag and be like, you know what, this is it. I give up. I surrender. I quit. You know, if you're going to quit, make it a good quit, like going back to the cigarettes. They do show finding more freedom here. You guys are getting away from things that have tied you down. So we're trying to get out of this devil energy is basically what they're showing here. They really want you to bloom. They really want you to get this thing kicking here. We do have a return of a friend. A lot of you Aries have a friend of yours from the past returning here in story number 1. Could be a good return, could be a bad return, might be somebody you don't want to hear from, might be somebody you've been dying to hear from. It's hard to say, but this is usually a return type energy. This can also be about looking at the good side of things, that basically as the advice. So you guys need to keep doing that. It shows that you have been, which is very good. Look at the good side of things instead of what you've lost, because otherwise if you look at the bad stuff, you're just going to attract more bad stuff. We don't want that. Okay, so it's very much a month here for my Aries in story 1 here about taking back your power, getting that sunlight to like shoot through these clouds here, taking control of your family and your loved ones as well as yourself, taking back your power for you. So very good, strong message there in story 1 for my Aries. Going down here, guys, story 2. Story 2, first we bring in theft or loss. That is pretty much just my base message that I have to give anytime it comes up, which is that this is not to scare you. This is not being negative. They're trying to forewarn a lot of my Aries about something here. Hopefully something you can avoid altogether. And this is the card of theft, loss, or deceit. Okay, so I always tell my people, good month to lock up your car, lock up your house. Don't leave valuables in plain sight. Don't take smart calculated risks. Don't do anything too risky because there is some theft and loss energy around there. And this is going to break at some point. More than likely, it's not going to be the entire month, but the reading is for the whole month. And there are some Aries flags that are coming up here that Spirit's like, hey, just tell them about this. Hopefully we can avoid it altogether. That's what it's all about. And even if it's not theft, this could just be you being forgetful. Because, for example, the example I give there, you forget your purse at a park. You leave it on a park bench, you walk off. Well, nobody necessarily stole it from you. You just lost it. But the energy at the end of the day is the same because you don't have it. So you can kind of see where that goes. So basically, try to remember your stuff. Try to remember to keep everything locked up, secure, all that kind of stuff. Just be very smart in the month of September. Next thing they show there in story 2 is the Empress coming in blocked. This is a feminine energy. The Empress card is very hard to read because it has like so many different definitions. I try to give you as many as I can in a general, but good time to remind you too, this is a general reading. If you're looking for messages that are private, personal, specific only to you, I do offer those on my website, scottsagent.com. The Empress card, back to that again. The feminine energy coming in blocked. Maybe some femininity needs to get kicking again. Maybe you guys need to get back into some girly things here, especially if you're a female. It can also mean that there is just something new blocked, new to the touch, new. So this would be like if you're planning on starting a new business, you could start thinking about the ideas and how it's going to work, but it's not the time to launch, okay? It's coming in blocked. So the actual, what makes it real, because the Empress card also means birth. So this is blocked birth. Okay, so something here is just not for now. Maybe it's for later, something like that. They do show the Queen energy here, Queen of Cups inverted. So this is kind of the need to nurture your love corner. Like the love corner really needs it. So you can see a little carryover from story 1. You can see how these stories kind of intertwine a little bit too. So this is a little more severe version of that. You need more attention into the love corner than in story number 1, but it's basically calling for it. It's saying like, you need to love this, you need to nurture it just like your own child, maybe about your child, or maybe be about somebody else that's in your love corner. Love corner is a big place. They also show not taking great pride of things here. So you got to take some greater pride with your people. Don't neglect old friends. Maybe time to reacquaint. We did bring that up in story 1. Not letting things fall apart. Now, this energy can be diverse. They could be like, let's say you've been bad about the maintenance and repairs on your house, and things are starting to like literally fall apart. That could be that too. It would still apply to the same definition pool that we're working with here. So they don't want you to let things kind of go to shit here. So September is the month to kind of, anything that you've been neglecting is a time to put the energy into it, even if it's family and friends and loved ones. Okay. Next, we show a king here. This is the energy of the king, King of Swords. This can be about a boss, but for most of you, this is going to be about taking good control of your mindset. It's a very good mental health month here for a lot of my Aries. Good time to kind of build on that with strength. For some of you, can also be being your own boss here, comes up in story 2. So all that stuff presents itself very good. It does kind of run backward in the past. So it's almost like you need to go backwards a little bit to move forwards. Of course, that message, you're going to have to find the context for that one, how that fits you best. And then we end with things are getting a little exciting here. There is a break of the boredom. Things are finally starting to like, oh man, this is starting to get good here. This is where the part of the movie that seemed like it was a lull, maybe August for you, for example. And now here, oh, this is getting good now. Okay, I'm going to watch the rest of this movie. Like, oh, now I'm going to, this part of my life is really getting interesting here. So, lots of moving parts there, lots to talk about. Hard to pinpoint in a general, of course. And they bring in breathe with your angel card. This is basically saying they want you to notice patterns. Also, like just breathe. It may be time to just relax. That could be all they're trying to say here. Maybe time for a vacation. Maybe time to kick your feet up, take a weekend off. Give yourself an extra day off of work, something like that. Relaxation, but also in the description of the card, they talk about cycles, which we're about to do in the moon cycles here momentarily anyway. But this is basically like they want you to notice how these things come and go out of your life, and that it is a pattern, and that you can also break these patterns. That goes back to the habit kind of forming stuff in story 1. So let's get into your moon cycles, guys. They've been talking about a lot of moon type stuff. Now, the first thing that comes in here in the month of September is actually the full moon. Full moon comes first. That's September 10. That is the best time to get anything out of your life that doesn't fit anymore. It doesn't matter if it's people. For some of you, it's people. For others of you, it's stuff. You maybe got to sell something, repurpose something, donate something, give it away. Whatever it is for you, doesn't matter. If it's got to go out of your life, even if it's something financial, like you got to get rid of this bill. You got to get this paid off and off your credit, something like that. Whatever it is for you here. Purging energy, much better placed beginning of the month. Doesn't have to be on the 10th, just anytime toward kind of the early part of September. Really good for that kind of stuff. Also selling stuff. I think I said that twice, but Spirit is basically reaffirming, hey, time for some Aries to sell some stuff here. So that is your full moon. That's the get it out month. And if you're trying to go back to this habit I talked about in story 1, doing that under the full moon just makes it work a little better. It doesn't mean it's going to work this time. But like we also talked about, not a time to give up either. Keep going, keep trying, never give up, never quit on yourself. Excuse me. Now we move into the new moon energy that hits, guys, on September 25th. That is the best time to bring anything brand new into your life that wasn't there before. This could be attracting new love. This could be something new financial, even a new job, new entrepreneurship, something new with health. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's new, it is new moon energy. September 25th, end of September is the best time to do that. Now, if any of these moon cycles have confused you at all, that's why I put together this moon cycle cheat sheet, and it is free. It is available at the very bottom of my videos page on the website. You go to scottsagent.com, go to the videos tab. Bottom there is where I have it parked, just because I didn't know where else to put it at the time. So you can check that out, guys, and it gives you the ebbs and the flows, shows you how to bring things in and get things out of your life using the divine timing of the universe that's already all around us. So you might as well, walk downhill instead of walk uphill. Much easier to swim with the current than against the current. So that's basically how the moon cycles work. And we talked about a lot of that in story number 1 and story number 2 already. Now, also, while you're at the website, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter program. That is at the very bottom of every single page. And signing up for the newsletter gets you a couple free readings every single year just by being signed up for it. I take great care of my newsletter people. I only send one email newsletter a month. It's just for updates, promo codes, save you guys some money on readings. I offer a bunch of different products, great products that are all personalized and specific to you. There is no general product on my website. All this stuff is personalized to your date of birth, to your energy, all about you. So all that stuff, very good to check out. I've just launched a brand new product on there too. It's the yes or no. That answers a very specific question that you have. Energy toward the yes, energy toward the no. It kind of shows you both paths. That's something worth checking out too. A bunch of other good mini products that are available too. Very affordable, guys. Make sure you check all that stuff out. Also, while you're at the website, the very final thing I need to talk about here is the shop, the new addition to the shop. And I'm going to do a little cut in here to show you what this display in front of me is all about. So I'm going to do that right now. We're going to come back and hit your story 3 right after. Okay, guys, the time has come to unveil and reveal the brand new product. The Scott Sagent line here is now offering you, if you are sunflower obsessed like me and a lot of other spiritual people, we're going to talk more about the sunflower momentarily, but this, guys, is sunflower potpourri. To my knowledge, this is a niche item. I don't think it exists out there, at least not like this. This is produced in small batches, hand fragranced, a 1/4 pound bag. It's your standard size potpourri bag, but this fragrance, I wish I could allow you to smell it through your computer, through your phone. Unfortunately, technology doesn't let us do that yet. So you're going to have to take my word on this, but this thing smells. The aroma is dreamy. It is dreamy. It is heavenly. It is fragrant. The aroma is powerful, but sweet. The sunflowers are not bulky enough to really make a true potpourri, so we had to use other items. But we captured the essence of the sunflower here by the color patterns, kind of the fall. A lot of the yellow make it pop just like the yellow in the sunflower does. And what this is hand fragranced. So that means by hand, and make sure that the whole thing is fragranced, not just the top part, not just a little bit of it. So it's all hand kind of mixed there. And also, the high quality ingredients are in here. That's very important so that the potpourri doesn't mold. In fact, this is supposed to last 10 years or longer as far as the construction of it. Now, as far as the fragrance, that does eventually run out. We'll talk about that more momentarily too. It looks kind of small, but it actually lives very, very large. Let me show you how big this actually presents. This is a bowl that I just picked up at the dollar store. You're going to actually, if you're going to do it right in one bowl, you need a bigger bowl than this. This one doesn't quite cut it because I got all this went into this, plus this is left over. So there is a lot. So if I didn't overfill this one, you could definitely fill 2 of these bowls, almost to the brim. And, use this in 2 different rooms. This works best, guys, in any kind of small rooms here. It basically creates a scent for the entire room. And it's best in bathrooms, small little linen areas, or anywhere you just want to freshen up. It works best in a shallow bowl. It needs to be able to breathe. That's the key here. So you don't want to pack it down too tightly. This is packed tightly just for shipping reasons. But once you open it up, you set it up so it can breathe. The fragrance eventually goes away. Well, how long is that going to take? It's hard for me to say right now, but I'm estimating about 3 months. That's what good quality potpourri does. It lasts about 3 months. So that's what this is. And that's what we're expecting this to do and how to live. In about 3 months, let's say, the fragrance runs out, doesn't smell anymore. Well, that sucks. Now you got to buy another potpourri, right? No, you don't. Actually, with this is the sunflower spritzer bottle that is a separate product, but they're a team. They go together. This is a tandem here. And this is the same exact scent palette. The difference is that this is the strong stuff to last 3 months, and this is just more diluted. Now, the reason that's diluted is because it serves other purposes. This can be used as a room spray. You can freshen up your whole house by spraying a couple pumps of this stuff and make it last for days. You can, if you have cats, a couple sprays in the litter box. When that starts smelling bad, your house smells good again. If somebody stinks up the bathroom, I mean, you can use this for anything to make smell better. And this is also skin friendly. People can wear this as, it's not as strong as a perfume, but it's more of the line of like a body spray, a body mister. You can actually wear it on yourself. But basically, the way that you refresh this, you can rejuvenate it instead of getting it a new one or throwing it out. You can basically recycle this by all you do. Take a big plastic bag, like a grocery bag, plastic, dump the whole thing in there. Spray a good wet layer on the top of it with your mister, with your spritzer here. Good wet layer. Close that bag up, shake it up, put it back in your bowl, and you're good to go. You're good to go for at least another week or more. The sunflower is God's flower. It basically represents all the main characteristics of the year. What you got there are your 52 petals. That represents weeks in the year. Inside, you got your seeds. You got 365 in a perfect flower. And it also follows the Fibonacci sequence of the Fibonacci spiral, the way that the seeds kind of go around in a spiral. And also the leaves coming up the stems, there's supposed to be 12 in a perfect plant. That represents, you guessed it, the 12 months. So the sunflower kind of represents our cycle, and that is why it's called God's flower. You're going to love it, guys. Check it out. All right, Aries, so you can see why the sunflowers are all around us here in the month of September. Very good yellow kind of energy going on here. So let's get into your story 3. Story 3, we first talk about action in the love corner. This is a great omen for my Aries singles. This is a great omen for my Aries couples too, because it's action. These are steps. Even if you're in a loving relationship, you may think, oh, well, what kind of love steps do I need? Well, it's not that you need them. It's just that things could always improve. This is an action being taken. Maybe it's just an action like, hey, you decided to, go start looking for a new house. That affects the family quite greatly. So that's a step. And this is an action being taken. This is a step, of course, many different forms. Whether you're single or coupled up, the base message is the same. And that is that they want you to take action here. So my singles, you got to put yourself out there, guys. You got to put yourself in places. More than likely, I always tell people they're not going to come knocking on your door and say, here, I am. You want to date me? Like, let's go. Usually they don't do that. You got to put yourself out there. Put yourself around people. Put around, be in places that the people you want to attract will go to, whether it's online or in person, doesn't matter. Next, they show that this is, despite the action being taken, understand that this is going to be a process. Even going back to my couples message here, that, action being taken, that in this kind of love-based message, that this is not going to resolve itself right away. There is a course of action that needs to play out. So it's kind of like, it's my War and Chaos card. It doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It just means that, you got to go through the motions. It's you got to win the battles before you win the war. That's the energy that comes up. Next, we have the High Priestess card. So you guys don't have the full picture here. You're working with an impoverished map. You don't have the whole scope of what's going on right now. Basically, Spirit is saying there is a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that you just don't realize, and don't get yourself down over it, because we understand what's going on here. You may not right now, but a certain amount of time down the road you will. Maybe it'll be 2 weeks, maybe it'll be 2 months, even for some of you 2 years or longer, but this is going to start making sense at some point. And the information that you have to work with, of course, keep in mind, information is how we make good decisions. Lack of information, it's really hard to make good decisions. So maybe it's even Spirit's way of saying, you don't have to make major decisions in September. It's actually okay if you don't. Maybe that stuff is better placed elsewhere. Maybe September is a more kind of, especially here in Story 3, for my Aries, this is a more kind of proceed as regularly scheduled program here in September. Kind of business as usual here. They do show the star card inverted, so that is kind of reaffirming what I just said. Didn't even catch it, but that's part of the psychic stuff here, guys. So here the star card inverted means that this is all about your choices. This is your free will stuff. This is less of a time here about destiny and about fate and momentum. That's very empowering because that means your day-to-day choices that you guys are making in September are relevant. You know, it's going to be huge toward affecting your path because what you're going through right now is not stuff that you've planned before you come here. This is kind of your spontaneity stuff, your spontaneous plans, things that you're changing, even if it's like the habit that we talked about earlier, whatever it is for you here, guys. But it's very empowering, and it's also letting you know that this is not based on fate. This is based on your choices right now. They also bring up injury, so they want you to be careful of injury for a lot of my Aries. This can be very minor stuff like stubbing your toe, getting a weird insect bite, getting, eating something that gives you a little bit of rash or, indigestion. Injury can also be on the heavier form here where, you actually hurt yourself pretty good. Maybe you turn an ankle, something like that. So big variety of frequency differences here that this can go. And in a general reading, I try to give it to you all. So here, basically, they're just saying be a little cautious because this may or may not be avoidable. It's really hard to say. For some of you, they're kind of pushing here that this could be about your eyes. So, for me, I'm a pretty tall guy here. I catch a lot of, especially walking up places, like low hanging limbs, wearing a hat helps a lot with that, especially wearing it forward. The brim catches something, but you may want to watch something with your eyes here or your eye health in general. Maybe a different message for some of you may have nothing to do with actually poking your eye, but actually like eye health coming up here. Okay, so injury with that comes in, and it's not specific to the eyes. It's just something Spirit kind of gave me there. They made my eye itch, which is why you saw me do that, and that's just basically telling me to talk about this here. So they also bring in patience here. So, there is stuff going on here in story 3, and it goes back to the battles card. They want you to be patient. They want you to realize that there is more going on behind the scenes and that this is going to take time. That's what good growth does. Good growth doesn't come instant. This is not instant gratification stuff. So whether it's working on your dating, whether it's, the day-to-day choices that you're making that are so empowering for your future, all this kind of stuff in the month of September, they want you to realize that nurturing and patience is required to get you there. So all good stuff there, guys. Let's get into your Runestone as we wrapped up story 3. Runestone for the month. I'm going to give them a quick shuffle here for you guys. And the Aries Runestone for September is going to be this guy right here. Show you here. This is the Runestone. Stand still, guys. Stand still. So it's just like what we just described. Again, the psychic stuff, very well connected here in the month of September. I can just feel the energy. Guys, we're very, very strong here. Stand still. Be in the moment. Be by yourself. Don't be afraid about making those major decisions that we talked about here. It's actually a good time. Despite the love action steps here, they're saying you don't understand everything that's going on it's by design. You're not supposed to understand right now, and it's okay. And therefore, focus on your day-to-day stuff. Don't worry about the bigger picture right now. Worry about what's right in front of your face. Worry about the smaller energies and stand still. So actually, less is more for you guys in the month of September. Very good reading all around. 3 short stories, but very profound stories. That's what I do love about the storyline spread. That has been the entire reading, guys. Make sure you check out the wonderful Sunflower Potpourri. I still got the Sage Soap on there. That's over here. Actually just had to reorder that, so that has also been depleted, and I got it restocked here for you guys. So 2 great products now available on the shop. Make sure you check those out, guys. I'm going to see you in a few days for the love readings. That is it for me here. Have a wonderful September.